After what happened in Ceuta a few days ago with, I think it was 100,000 migrants that crossed the border and sadly left 72 people dead from the last I heard. I know there have been cleanups, there have also been that have been happening, but there are still hundreds of migrants that have not crossed back into Morocco, and that has caused concern with residents. I was watching a video today. Uh, some people, some shop owners saying at a restaurant that they weren't able to open up until today, and they have to be vigilant because they don't want the food from customers to be stolen from the migrants because there's still a bunch of them there. And there's also a lot of people in Spain asking themselves like whether they should have open borders at this point. And a lot of them are saying that their borders need to be, fortified more because of what's happened. So that's a good thing that a lot of them are waking up. How even the prime minister of Spain at the time was sounding like he's doing a 180, although at this point he's doing that probably to survive because a lot of people are asking him for his resignation. Speaking of which, while they are still cleaning up and there's still migrants there, he decided to go on vacation to the Canary Islands. Not a good look for him. Italy is still wanting to kick Spain out of the Schengen area, which is the free movement zone in the EU. And at this point, I guess my main question is the idea of open borders dead at this point? Because you, and this is my last point, because you have this situation that has happened in Spain where a lot of migrants came in, trashed the place. Sadly, people died. And you have this exact situation that happened. So, yeah, thank you.
I'm gonna look into people's reaction to this, but I see there's some twos into this in the chat, so I'll put my two before I respond to it.
Okay. First update: 79 dead. They found a few more floaters in the water, and that was as of 3 hours ago. So yeah, I want to bring up the point of why they came across. They saw advertisements on Instagram and TikTok about jobs and free food available inside that particular town. When they found out no food was available and no jobs were available, they were easily handled by the police. Over 57 to 60,000 have been forced marched back across the border. Okay. So mainland Spain was not invaded. It was just that particular piece of African land. That's the first part of it. Second, there was a group, I think it was about 1,000 of them. No, it might be more. I don't know. That refused to go back. They're actually claiming real asylum. They didn't bring their documentation. They're not going to get asylum. Okay. Pedro Sanchez did say that this was a major issue that we have to resolve, and that's why we sent the military to resolve it. I don't believe half the shit he says, but he said it. So, yeah, that's happening too. They're going to be sent back one way or the other. But it was interesting because I saw some young kids show a reporter the Instagram account promising him jobs and the like. And the guy took his phone, ding, 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 ding. Pakistan, the account was from, not Cuenta. So they're responding to an advertisement for work and for free food. All right. And once they found out neither was available, they had no problem going back. Also, probably seeing the fact that there was guys armed, soldiers, fully armed army, and then the Guardia Civil, the green-clad police, telling them about face walk, and they walked. And there were a few that tried to sneak away, and they found out that that was stupid real quick. I've seen the videos. I posted a couple on the group chat, the group links on to this forum, so you can see. And they took them out in 3 waves to get them out. But yeah, so Spain was invaded. Mainland Spain was not invaded. It was. It's apparently the number is more realistic at 600,000. That's 60,000, not the 1.5 million that was claimed by 3 different news sources in Europe, which would have overrun that island completely, where nobody would be able to take a step. That particular city. Okay. And something about the way the generals were talking to Sanchez, he never got to that city. He was in south of Spain, but they were able to monitor all the cameras around where the influx of the people coming around came in. And amazingly, Sanchez says, "How come it was that simple? How come it was that simple?" And yeah, now these guys got their jobs to fear because they let the ball, they gave up the ball and on goal. So we'll see what happens. I know this Malay in Argentina made a statement in news, a news statement that I also shared in here, that the people of Spain and the people of Spain are revolting. They're coming after. They want Sanchez gone. There's calls for the king, because there's Article 16 of the Constitution. The king has the authority to dismiss the president and call for new elections. They're calling for that. Yeah, it's getting really political in Spain. But that's all the catch up information I have. Someone else can speak now.
That was amazing, Jose. Monkey, you're next.
All right, Armin, I sent you an image. I've seen this widely spread. I saw this on Aspen Go too. This is the Moroccan police and the Moroccan military. They've been also sent to the border to deal with this because they don't want to be under sanctions and trouble. So they're like, whoa, 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 whoa. And they sent a whole bunch of people over there. And you know what? The Moroccan police are a lot harder on the Moroccans
What?
than the Spanish police.
Oh
Like
my.
there's a few videos and images of this, and look, like I just saw this a little while ago while I was having lunch, and I don't think it's too bad, but you could just live the image if you want. And it shows how the Moroccan police are dealing with, and yeah, they're not messing around. The
Is
when the
this? Are you
Moroccan
sure
police,
this is
I
not
think that's the
AI?
military.
Are you sure this is
Uh,
AI?
I I don't. I think it may be what do you call it when you do a close up and you enhance it, but it's the
Oh,
image
but the
because
video.
there's also the video of that happen. There's a video next to it so you can see it happening. But there's like this was Osmongo reviewed it all, had his mods check it, and
Oh,
and I'm not saying this is confirmed, but it is widely stated. Yeah, the Moroccan police are over there. The Moroccan, I think it's the military is also over there, and they're trying to also deal with the situation on their side. If things are happening, this is like basically breaking news. I hope it all turns out for good. Like I hope the Moroccan police also gets a handle on this, and not only that, I hope if the Moroccan police were really responsible, and we can hope, right? I'm not gonna say that. Oh my God, this is like in the bag, but we can hope that they would see this as a like let's say a lot of those people are not from Morocco and they were just like passing through to go up there, that they would be worried about people entering their border to go through to somewhere else and create some of the problems that happen in South America when these transient crowds going through your national territory are causing a problem, and they tighten their borders too, and they go against anyone aiding this. Any NGO that aided this, I would hope the Moroccan government would go after it.
okay. So
Okay, I'm
guys,
hearing
I'm
from
gonna.
Shauna that the Moroccan government named the highway after Trump. I hope they're not using that highway.
Yeah, the Moroccan government is like like close to Israel and United States, very close to United States, and getting eager to normalize relationship with Israel, and that's why many people
I
don't like.
consider it a rapid
Yeah.
reaction. It's only been like less than a week. So
So,
yeah,
so
absolutely
guys,
true. I'm out.
on the in the group, I'm gonna share what Monkey shared. So you guys, you were gonna not see the group for a second, so let me just share this. And also, Monkey, can you post a link to it in the school chat as well for people who might want to see it? So let me show it people. Saying, according to a widely circulated report, Moroccan soldiers are said to have prevented Moroccans returning from Ceuta from entering the country by throwing stones at them. The incident sparked fierce reaction on social media. Guys, so I'm not reporting that this is a real, I'm just reporting that this is widely circulating and a lot of people are saying this is real. And again, this is the video. And guys, I just checked YouTube. Just please keep in mind that the rock didn't hit the person. So the person is not did not got hurt. So I am sharing it only. Okay, so see the rock didn't. Okay. So I shared that, but the rock YouTube don't strike me down. The rock didn't hit the man. Okay, we're back into the group. So who's next?
I'm just going to quickly comment that I don't think it's an accident that the Pact on Migration and Asylum in the European Union passed in June 2026. It basically means that every country in the EU needs to take migrants and if they don't, they have to pay massive fines. So that alone is either going to force Spain to reverse their policy, throw out Pedro Sanchez, or they're going to throw them out of the EU. That one or the other, because there's no way all these countries are going to be like, yeah, we're going to take those people. There's no way. That's not going to happen. No one's that crazy. And I also do think that it means that, hey, let's not have borders. That everyone is clearly seeing what that means now. And the DSA in the US, they should have that rammed right into their face. Airman, you're next.
All right, so I just looked up the numbers, and I think the numbers are encouraging, which is why people should not be anti-Spain. These are the numbers that shows that like do not be anti-Spain. You could be anti the government, but don't be anti-Spain. I'll read it to you guys. So you tell me what you think. Right-wing parties and patriots reacted with the intense anger to this event, demanding military border deployment and total deportations in Spain. Polls in mid 2026 show the right wing bloc holds roughly 51% voter support. So that means the majority. The majority of Spanish people are like that. So this shows that the Spanish government does not represent the Spanish people at all. And not only that, 81% of Spaniards view current immigration as excessive. So we have 51% of right wing with support the right wing bloc, but even more than that, 81% think the current migration is excessive. The governing left wing reacted with defensive pragmatism, though hard left partners clashed over humanitarian border policy. So, what I see is like within the left leaning, there's 50-50. Some people are saying like we need to react to this and stop this. Some half of the left wing people are talking about humanitarian stuff to help these people, the Moroccans and stuff like that. The pro-Palestine, anti-Israeli groups they framed the event around Western Sahara politics and the diplomatic ties with Israel. They're blaming that, of course. And then open border activists reacted with legal challenges demanding full asylum processing for all border crossers. So these are the different segments of Spain reacting to this differently, but you can see that the vast majority of Spanish people are patriotic Spanish people who are aggressively against all of this. So this is why you shouldn't be anti-Spain. You should just be anti the ruling government right now.
Actually, if you want to look up Irene Montero, I'm just saying that to everyone. Look her up on X and see how she is being treated right now because she was Miss Open Borders. Siddhartha, you're next.
I wanted to answer Noah's question about whether or not open borders policy is dead. I think that it's not dead as far as there remains a group of people interested in promoting this policy, but I think it's a dead end in the sense that anyone who institutes the policy is self-destructing. And I think that that's like pretty much everywhere where it's instituted. It's going badly, and it's just so obviously going to go badly. When I think about, I'm an American. I'm the son of immigrants. I'm married to an immigrant. Many of my friends are immigrants. I would say that I am xenophilic, but I'm still a restrictionist because I think that the people come to America because it's a functioning country. And there are billions of people who would like to live in a functioning country. And we can't just open the border. We cannot just open the border. We have to control it. And what happens is when somebody comes here illegally, they're displacing somebody who's waiting to come here legally. And that is an incredible distortion in the kind of people that end up coming. So if we just allow people to come in, then and we are punishing the people who are willing to respect our laws. And there are many people who want that, who want to come and who are willing to abide by the legal process and are not going to get to come, even though they really want to come and contribute. They're not going to get to come because they've been displaced by people who don't want to respect the system. I totally understand why somebody would want to come. And I can even understand the desperation to come here illegally. But I just think it is like absolutely an unsustainable policy.
So that's right. I sent you a message on school if you have time at some point. Not right now, but respond to it.
Next,
I will check it out.
next is Shauna.
Just really quick, I was looking up I was trying to understand the demographics on the ground in Morocco. And one of the bottlenecks that they are experiencing, and this goes to Jose's point about them being promised something that was from Pakistan, is that they are dealing with a very high percentage. I can't remember what number it was, but I think it was as high as 30%, it might have been higher, of what they call NEET, which is non-educated, and they're not in school and they don't have a job. I can't remember the exact thing. I'm blanking now, but they have a high percentage of young men in that situation, and their training stuff isn't really designed. They're having some of the same problems the West is having. Basically, they have a bunch of young, unemployed, uneducated young men that don't have any skills and don't have access to gain skills for like gainful employment or to keep themselves busy or whatever. And so that's a problem that Morocco is having, which is part of why there was such there was such a horde of young men available to just go over there, even though Morocco as a nation is evolving and being like there's a lot of improvements happening, but it looks like they just have a lot of white collar types of jobs, and they don't have much to do. They don't have a lot of opportunities for these kind of young men that are from historically impoverished families or whatever. So that's just like a piece of information. That's all I have to say, is just that there's an issue there that Morocco as a country is dealing with. It's just too many bored young men.
Right, you have 2 super chats.
Yes, I was in the process of getting information regarding one of them. Let me just quickly do that and to see if I could get, okay. All right. So the first one, which is from Stick and Beans, saying Morocco is not a country with hunger or is poor. So I don't know if I read that right, but I think, okay. Okay, I give it to AI to decode what the second meaning is saying. Second meaning is saying that Morocco does not suffer from widespread poverty or food shortages, starvation. They are defending. Oh, okay. So Morocco is okay. So let me read now. I read that right. Okay, Morocco is not a country with hunger or is poor. Okay, so yeah, Morocco is. I don't know if that's true though. I do think that is it. Is that true? Let me see. I do know that they have a lower GDP per capita than many other countries, but I don't know. It's mostly true regarding hunger, but more nuanced when it comes to poverty. Hunger is true. According to the Global Hunger Index, Morocco has a low hunger level, with severe hunger and starvation being extremely rare. Okay, that's true. Poverty, that's more mixed. Extreme poverty is very low at under 1%. However, Morocco is still a lower middle income country, and economic vulnerability, youth unemployment, and regional income inequality remain noticeable challenges. Okay, so yes, true about hunger. Poverty is more nuanced. Thank you, Sikkim Beans. And then we have Redneck Jeep with a super chat saying Trump is compromised by his $3 billion resort development deal with Qatar, and Saudi also never should have accepted the plane, the Qatari plane. So I know there's a lot of deals that Jared Kushner and Witkoff have with the Saudis and the Emiratis and the Qataris that makes them not a very reliable very reliable when it comes to dealing with those countries. They are very aggressively more pro de-escalation because of their financial ties to that region. I don't know how true that is with regards to Trump, so let me look that up. The Trump organization entered major real estate deal around the Persian Gulf on April 30th, 2025 and September 29th, 2025. A $3 billion luxury resort agreement in Qatar was co-launched with state-backed developer Qatar DR on April 2025. Saudi real estate projects under the Trump brand expanded with a $1 billion project on September 2025. The administration accepted $400 million Boeing jet from Qatar, which entered service on July. Yeah, we know that. Critics maintain these transactions compromise foreign policy decisions regarding the Persian Gulf and the Iranian regime. Okay, yeah, as a percentage of Trump's wealth, I don't know how big of a deal this is. I know it is a big deal for Witkoff and Jared Kushner, but I think if you want to criticize Trump's financials, I think he's getting a lot more wealthy with his crypto deals, a lot more than these. So I think that's the area that I have a lot of criticism for what Trump is doing, because he is a lot of his decisions that he has made when it comes to his foreign policy and other policies seem to be in line with what would be beneficial to him regarding his crypto business. I don't know how influential this is, because a $3 billion resort doesn't, like, the profit from that is not $3 billion, obviously, like it's going to be a fraction of that. But if you look at how much he's making from his crypto business, that is so much more. So this might be influential for sure, but as a percentage of his wealth, I don't know how big of a deal that is. And thank you, Redneck Jeep. And then we got another super chat by Sticking Bean saying, "Why invest in education if getting a job depends on who's your daddy, or who's your uncle?" It depends on what type of education you mean, because, well, again, I'm not going to get into that, but I don't know what this is even referring to. But nepotism sucks. Monkey is saying nepotism sucks. But guys, regarding, even if you live in a society where there's a lot of nepotism, getting the right type of information, which is an education that might not even be offered in school, it might be an education that you need to go get yourself. Getting the right information will always give you a lot of leverage, even in a society with a lot of nepotism. But also, it's also true that the education that is being offered right now in school and universities is probably not the right type of education you need. But anyways, gonna not get into that. All right, guys, this was a Very, very
Armin,
interesting. Yes, go on.
Monkey just wanted to say something really quick.
Okay.
Yes, super quick correction. One more thing. The Moroccan police was not stopping people coming back from Quetta. I have like or Sueta. I have like 8 sources that say no, they were stopping people from going into Quetta. They bust people away from Quetta, and the water cannon videos. That's Moroccan police trying to get the people to stop going to Quetta. So the Moroccans are kind of helping out with the thing. The police that the tweet was inaccurate. The images were good. Tweet back. I apologize for the words on the tweet.
No, thank you so much for the correction, Monkey. That was the right thing. Thank you so much for being so eager to correct any misinformation. That's very good. We got another super chat by Sticking Bean saying mostly how it works in the Arab Muslim world, rarely on merit. Yes, it's merits. It's not a meritocracy in the Islamic or the Arab world. However, if you are somebody who's living in an Islamic country or an Arab country, the whole world is connected now, and there's a lot of jobs available online, and online is based on merit. So just because your local society is not based on merit, you still will be able to get ahead if you educate yourself in the right way, because there's so much of your geography doesn't limit your higher ability anymore. The whole world is connected. So still go get the right information and the right leverage to grow. So don't just give up on educating yourself just because your geography doesn't reward merit. Don't say like, okay, so don't I should give up on education because of that. There's a lot of jobs available now globally beyond your borders.
My name is Armin Navabi. I'm an Iranian political analyst with decades of experience fighting the Islamic regime inside and outside of Iran. Make sure you follow me for more, and also make sure you join our discussion group. I'm there almost every single day. Come talk to me there and the rest of the people there in our group calls. It's a great place to meet and talk to people who like talking about politics. The link is in the description and or in the bio. You could also get there by scanning the QR code on the screen. See you there.